So we'll communicate as
Manoj bhai.
Yeah. Good afternoon, all my online viewers and all the members of the Bombay Chartered Accountants Society and the Yoga Institute, and welcome on this lovely Sunday afternoon. And I believe I recommend the Human Resource Development Committee also to have a perfectly timed it, because in the morning there was that solar eclipse. So this is perfectly timed, so we can finish off our prayers in the morning, have a lovely bath, have a light lunch, and come back for this yoga program. This program has been organized by the Human Resource Development Committee of the Bombay Chartered Accountants Society, and I'm glad that in spite of the lockdown and all these challenges, our society continues with all the programs that it does. 21st of June is the International Yoga Day. I remember those lovely days that in the past few years that we've been having a yoga, a camp at our BCA office in the cool, atmosphere of our AC in our, hall. But this is also virtual meeting to celebrate this yoga. Friends, as in the past 90 days or so, we all have been locked down and confined to our homes, and many of us would not like to stand on the weighing machine. But I believe yoga is a very, very good and important, important schedule of the day, because not only it reveals stress, but it also controls very, lifestyle diseases that many of us might be suffering from: pressure, high blood pressure, diabetes, and etc. And also, more importantly, we've been hearing about depression that we've been hearing. So it's important to practice yoga, and more importantly, our Prime Minister Modi's thrust on International Yoga Day. This yoga is the gift that our country or our history has given to the world, so the tradition should continue. Secondly, on the Human Resource Development Committee, I give up my term as a president on 6th of July. So this, I believe, are very last few couple of programs that I'll be, coming as a president. So I'm really, really very happy and proud, that this particular committee has worked excellently well. And I, commend Rajesh Bhai, our chairman and past president, who has been headed this committee, and all the conveners and all the committee members, particularly Anand, Mukesh Bhai, co-chairman, KK, and everybody. So I think so with these words, again, I welcome all of you. I hope that this particular 1.5 hour, 90-minute session will be beneficial to all of us. And with these words, I hand over to Rajesh Bhai. And coincidentally, for some of you who do not know, Rajesh Bhai is giving up his term as a chairman of the Human Resource Development Committee by rotation. He's been serving this committee since the past so many years. So Rajesh Bhai, a big, big thank you for your contribution, to your effort, to your time for this committee. And really, under your leadership, this committee has really gone from the height to height, and new programs and has been created. So next year's chairman is really, really going to have a difficult time, big shoes to fill. Rajesh Bhai, all yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Manish. Overwhelmed by your appreciation of the activities that HR committee has performed, and secondly about my personal involvement in the activity of BCS.
Sorry to interrupt, Rajesh, for one moment. We are just muting all the other persons except the people who are going to speak, because there are quite a few people whose videos and all are on. So because of that, we'll just try to grant us just 1 or 2 seconds.
Yes, I have muted everybody.
Okay, fine.
Thank you. So Manish Bhai, this is of course between two of us, that I am not wanting to share more about my expressions regarding my experiences. I'm only thankful to this organization for having given me this opportunity, and this is what we can do best. It is the, I would say, the vision of our Bombay Chartered Accountants Society to see that the HRD committee performs the vision of the BCS for making development of the overall personality of the members. And that is what has been kept as our aim and objective. And this program is one of that which is going to be helpful to all the members for improving their health, for maintaining their health, and for the purpose of developing their, I would say, productivity in life. If at all we are having a better health and more controlled concentration, we are going to certainly perform ourselves better. The idea of the yoga celebration has been all along being practiced by Bombay Chartered Accountant Society. We have all along been celebrating the International Day, and we are very happy that today we have with us a very prestigious institution which is in service of the community since more than 102 years now, and such an experienced organization which has offered their association with us. And I am sure that with that we are going to be going quite many years long together, and our members can certainly take more advantage of the institution's teachings and will be able to cope up with the present requirement of, trying to take care of our health. Most important in the present day time, everywhere we have been talking about COVID, so I'm not wanting to more stress over it, but we are going to learn something today which is going to be very useful. Many of our members certainly would be practicing and would find a affirmation to what in fact have been practiced by them, or maybe knowing something more also with the experience of the Institute of the Yoga. The intention that we have kept today is to provide not only the introduction of the subject of yoga, but also to provide certain specific treatments that we need to look into for while making a practice of yoga, so that we are in a position to achieve or rather resolve our complaints if at all we have you know had with us. Hopefully no one should have it, but if at all you have got it, you will be getting some good hints, good tips for you to control them. So with that, I really have a great pleasure in inviting the Yoga Institute. Presently available is Mr. Manoj, and thereafter we are going to be blessed also with the presence of Hansaben. For a while, she will have a talk with us. We have two very good, one of the good members of our BCA itself, the Neeta Bakshi, a chartered accountant. Manoj Bhai himself is also a chartered accountant, as well as Manju Ben. All of them are going to make up a team and explain to us the yoga. With that, I'm sure you are all going to have a great session today. Let's celebrate. Let's see, pledge for the best of our health. I welcome you all and invite now our convener Mukesh Bhai to take the session forward. I'm thankful to both Mukesh Bhai and Anand for having taken a great initiative to see that this program takes place, this celebration takes place. I have my number of other co-members of the HRD committee. I welcome you all, Gracie, Nandita Ben, and others who have joined. I'm not in a position to see all the names, but I welcome you all. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. So with that, Mukesh Bhai, may I request you to kindly take up the session further.
Thank you so much, President Manish Bhai, Chairman Rajesh Bhai. It's my privilege to introduce today's program, how it is going to unfold, and along with that, the leading speaker who is going to facilitate us the entire training program of the yoga. First, about the program, they are going to share with us the practical, actual demonstration of the various asana, the pranayams, kriya, and along with that, they have been kind to give us the time for question and answer that we may have for the purpose of any kind of issues where yoga can be very well available for us. Coming to the pleasant task of introducing the lead person from the Yoga Institute. Yoga Institute, as we all now heard from Rajesh Bhai, is 102 years old, where I am also one of the regular participant and student in the early batch. In the early morning, 6:30 every morning, I happen to be there, except for last 3 months when the lockdown is around. Notwithstanding that, it's a pleasant task to introduce the lead speaker who is going to facilitate us the training program. He is by qualification chartered accountant. He has a brilliant track record of academic record, and he has had the rank in the final CA also. But then after that, professionally, so intellectually, he has been looking after the wealth management, and by heart, he is looking after the health management, and that is yoga. So he is a perfect combination of health and wealth management. That is, let us welcome Manoj Bhai here. He is very much here, and he has been very kind. We have been coordinating, and it was his enthusiastic response to us, all of us, and we are in a position to have the record number of participants today. More than about 150 to 170 people have already registered, and we are very happy that they will be coming in the due course to participate in the program. It's a wonderful program that we have unfolded. So let us have Manoj Bhai. Along with that, a brief introduction of Hansaben at the moment I am doing only because in the later part, when she comes, we will be just expressing our gratitude also. Hansaben has been an exemplary yogi, a scholar, and who has touched the lives of more than 1 billion people. She has also been the instrumental in making the trainers for the Yoga Institute, who are now sharing the knowledge with so many people, so many beneficiaries across the world. The institute originally, which was founded by late Yogendra ji, was later on taken by Jaidev, Dr. Jaidev Yogendra, and his wife, late Dr. Jaidev, whose wife is Hansaben, very graceful, very kind and very caring and ever smiling personality who can inspire purely by her sheer presence, and she has a wonderful way to empower and inspire all of us. The way I have been with the Yoga Institute for last 40 years, and I am finding that the professionalization with which Hansaben has taken this particular institution, and with that, it has become such a beautiful institution to look upon, where we can get, and today, Ayush, or whatever, today buzzword is Ayush in this pandemic time. And in the Ayush, her contribution has been one of the phenomenal, and they are also recipient of the awards for the Ayush because they have imparted the best of the training for the yoga also. Under her inspiring leadership, Yoga Institute is the first one which has received the Ayush award also. She has also been the recipient of the Prime Minister's Award as one of the finest yoga institute. And she has authored so many books on yoga and health and care, etc. So with this, friends, let us welcome first Manoj Bhai, and then when the actual initial audio will be played, video will be played for Hansaben. With that, I present to you, welcome Manoj Alimchandani. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mukesh Bhai, and thank you very much, Anand. You have been doing wonderful work and trying to get results. Thank you very much, Rajesh Bhai and Manish Bhai. It's wonderful to be here sharing our knowledge with all the participants. I'll tell you, when Mukesh Bhai approached us, I've been a life member of BCA and having the advantage of BCA since I passed my chartered accountancy in May '84 as a topper. So it is really wonderful. And as far as HRD committee, you are doing a wonderful job. I remember HRD committee had a full group of members and did a full day workshop at the Yoga Institute several years ago. So it was a wonderful experience. Now I'll come to the essence of International Day of Yoga and yoga. International Day of Yoga was suggested by the Prime Minister to the United Nations in end 2014. Yoga has been India's heritage. Incidentally, it is intellectual property, the most valuable intellectual property in the universe, for which there is no copyright. It's what the Prime Minister said, yoga, India's heritage, is a gift from India to the world and the global community. The planet should benefit. The United Nations had a very good, speedy response and announced in a few months that we should have International Yoga Day, and over 170 countries immediately agreed. 21st June was decided. The reason for 21st June is it is the longest day of the year in the northern hemisphere. Some also say 21st June is the date the first yogi Shiva started spreading the knowledge of yoga to the world. So 20, and incidentally, this day was in fact suggested by Hansama, and it was accepted. So that is it. Today we have the 6th International Day of Yoga. Every year there is a theme for International Day of Yoga. This year, the Prime Minister, along with the Ministry of Ayush, has selected the theme Yoga at Home, Yoga with Family. Incidentally, it's a blessing in disguise. Usually there are record gatherings which have come in the Guinness Book of Records also. So this time it is going to be much larger. All over the world, people are connecting through online medium. So more people are connecting. And so benefit of that will be given to the world. And what we decided, as Rajesh Bhai suggested, we thought while giving you and presenting you International Day of Yoga, we would also do some further value addition as requested by Rajesh Bhai. It will be a kind of a mini workshop, value added, and we selected a theme. We'll cover healthcare issues and issues faced during these challenging times by everybody, and particularly by the chartered accountant. So we have developed a comprehensive program in the limited time we have. And my idea is to make it as interactive as possible, because that is the best way to do. So there are key takeaways for all the participants. What is yoga? In simple terms, for chartered accountants, excellence in work is yoga. Chartered accountants understand that very well. They are always busy working, many of them as workaholic. So what do we do? Excel in work. That is yoga. Very simple. There are many definitions of yoga, but this is the best way for all chartered accountants. Another thing is, it's better to excel in work without expectation. We should do our karma yoga, that is selfless service to society. And we should also do our duties. That's the main thing. We should do our duties. Result will certainly come at its own time and pace. What is yoga? Yoga goes beyond physical exercises to thoughts, where chartered accountants are very good at. It includes also food. We say about food, and also at the Yoga Institute, as the food, so the mind. So when yoga looks at it, we say yoga, at the Yoga Institute, we always say yoga is a way of life. When do we practice yoga? How much time we require to practice yoga? Some people say 1 hour, some people say 2 hours. It's a way of life, so it must be 24 hours. What is yoga? Yoga is concentration. Concentration. That helps a lot in all our work, whether as young chartered accountants, whether as students, or whether as senior chartered accountants, poring over ITRs and looking at Supreme Court judgments and High Court judgments and tribunal judgments. We look at that. So concentration is very, very important. So that concentration is yoga. Incidentally, 2000 years back, the Patanjali, who is known as father of yoga, he codified yoga. Earlier, the practices were secret. He codified yoga and compiled Yoga Sutras. So there is just in one page, a few sutras are written, 192 sutras, which shows the whole philosophy and practice of life. Just imagine, one page, whole practice and philosophy of life. I'll just give example, which is the first sutra. Chitta Vritti Nirodha. When you study that, research that, so it can take you years of study just to understand. It's one sentence. What is Chitta Vritti Nirodha? It is to restrain the modifications on the mind. That's a technical word. Otherwise, we say vitti. Vittis. When you see water, you see bubbles, right? Huh? In a well, you throw a stone, or in the so you see bubbles. So this is, and these are the example is it's a vitti. You control the modification, you restrain. So ultimately, thoughts will keep on coming and going. Some people say over 64,000 thoughts come in a year. So by practice of yoga, regulation of prana, and the neuromuscular coordination exercises which we do, we don't say asan. We may say asan, but actually we have developed it to a art and science of neuromuscular coordination. So that takes place, and we get the benefit of concentration ultimately. So, and also, Rajesh bhai, when we talked about healthcare and diseases, scientific research has proved over 90% of diseases are psychosomatic in nature. Although medical science looks at symptoms and it has its own way of medicines, which are basically come from chemical science. And then there are tests, and then you have antibiotics and side effects also. So here, this the secretion of hormones in the body is improved by practice of yoga, neuromuscular coordination with asanas, and also pranayams. So we have a lot to do, and lots of research has been done. We have been involved in research, education on a day-to-day basis. We have over 50 publications, including Caring for the Heart Disease, which was a scientific project. We worked with over 100 patients, where angiography was taken for the patient before the project and after the project. And the project was each patient has to do lifestyle changes for about 1 year. And then the results proved that there is substantial improvement and benefits. And so it's called reversal of heart disease. We have a book, a presentation of the reversal of heart disease. We had a cardiologist, we had a team. As part of the team, we had a neuro doctor, we had a diet expert also. So it has lots of benefits, psychosomatic disease, and we have worked on therapy, but we say yoga doesn't look at treatment. You treat the human. So diseases itself, your immunity is improved and you should not get diseases. Of course, diseases today are coming because of the changes in nature which have happened. The pollution, right? The changes in lifestyle we are having. We are not sleeping in time. We are not getting up in time. So and we are not eating the right thing. We are not eating at the right time. So this makes a big, we are not eating the right quantity. So these are lifestyle issues. One takes tension, one gets angry, or one gets target, one gets deadline. Ultimately, we need to do our duty. So yoga is a way of life. So we would come to specifics. We have a short presentation on diet. So if we can have that, Hansaji has given a message especially on diet and nutrition. Can we put that on?
Yes, I'll just share this video.
Namaskar. Yoga says, as the food, so the mind. As the mind, so the man. Yoga makes it very much clear that we are eating food for our body, fine. But food should be very much conducive with mind. If you are eating something which is exciting type of a food, then that mind would do wrong actions in life. If intoxicated things go in the mind, then that mind would become dull later on, depressive later on, and his actions again would be different. The karma is what we do. We have to face the consequences of the karma. And so we have to see that our mind is kept balanced. Mind should be happy. Mind should enjoy every moment very well. So when we talk about food, we should remember that in human personality, mind supersedes body. Mind has a will of its own. Body doesn't have a separate will. So for body, when we are doing something, we are giving proper nutrition. We are caring that every nutrient properly goes into our body. But if mind is disturbed, those nutrients would not be absorbed and assimilated completely. Just watch. You tell somebody, don't eat this. You would love to eat that. Hidingly, you would find some reason to eat that. I have seen this very often in diabetics. The diabetics are told not to eat sugar, not to eat fried stuffs, jalebi and all that, please avoid. But then quietly one fine day they bring the jalebi and all enjoy jalebis very much. And when you tell them something, they say, well, we are also human beings. We also have desires and we want to eat. We will eat. They forget that they are doing anything to remain healthy. For health it is required, otherwise it can create a hell of a problem. They want to prevent the problem and so such systematic diet. But humans sometimes get into a very different state of mind. They want to remain healthy, they want to be free from pain and suffering, but at the same time, they don't want to control that desire to eat tasty food. And so they keep that health part aside. Well, understand human personality. We should know that every human's body's way in which it functions, it is well proven fact. What food you take, what effect it has on body is understood. Protein gets converted into peptides, amino acids, but then it should get converted into energy. But if it doesn't get converted into energy, then diseases set in. That protein, more amino acid, more peptide is going to create problem. And so what we are supposed to do? We have to see that the person who is eating food is definitely having some proper physical activities, proper state of mind to absorb, assimilate maximum out of it. Rules are clear in yoga. They say that your body itself, it will tell you when body needs something. Body has its own language to offer. When you are hungry, you are ready for food. So one rule is very clear that don't eat when you are not hungry. But then we are householders. Here is the food time. You are called. Come on. We all sit together and eat food. And you don't feel hunger. So how do we go about? Slowly take few days to understand your body's character. How much should you eat in breakfast so that you get hungry at lunchtime? How much should you eat at lunchtime and what time so that you get hungry at tea time? You will have to find out. And how much at tea so that you get hungry at dinner time. So this observation, know thyself, has to be done. Know your body. Every human body is different. It can't function in the same way. You eat this quantity and it will happen this way. It doesn't work like that. I have noticed certain people who have learned how to remain positive. They are eating only when they are hungry and they are eating very little. They are most happy and healthy, very healthy. And when you test, do the checkup, no deficiencies are there in their body. Usually it is observed that nowadays we see the deficiency of D3 and deficiency of B12 and B6 and B12, all this occurs. But I have noticed many of our yoga teachers that they are just following this rule. When you are hungry, eat. Having a very, very fixed time to eat food, organized time so that body's rhythm goes like that. You will automatically get hungry at 12:30 if you have made that rhythm. And automatically by dinner, you will finish dinner early and sleep properly. If person follows this pattern, body knows what to take, what to absorb, what to throw it away. But you will never suffer. They are all very healthy. Nobody is obese. Nobody is sick. Nobody has any diabetes or asthma or orthopedic problem or anything, even at the age of 80. So, what am I trying to tell you is, all these things are very much required what am I eating, how am I eating, how much am I eating. But at the same time, this natural desire, naturalness of your body, language of your body has to be understood. So we have to be close to nature and see that we flow with nature. Day is meant for work, night is meant for sleep, rest. Now during day, from sunrise to sunset, we are supposed to eat 4 times in a day, and every time we eat, we should feel hungry and eat only that much to satiate our hunger and not more than that. This basic rule has to be followed, and just see that we are aware about what we are eating. Yoga talks about sattvic food, food which is most natural. So fruits, vegetables. Wheat, rice, jowar, bajra, makai among this whole group. Dals, basically moong dal with skin, green dal, and other dals, mixed dals once in a while. Every time, every day you make new dals. Every time you don't just eat wheat, sometimes ragi, sometimes wheat and ragi combination, sometimes bajra, sometimes jowar, sometimes makka, any of these bhakris. So such varieties we can make, but follow this group. Among sweet, refined food should be avoided. So we would not say put sugar, we would say put jaggery, and that too liquid jaggery is available, which is called as kakvi, and honey. Try and have, if tall sugar, then those rock sugar, which is called as khadi shakkar, which is not refined one, unrefined khadi shakkar. So such unrefined sugar is what is required. And then just see that you don't eat other refined things like salt. Salt also, as far as possible, rock salt, pink rock salt, sendha namak, black rock salt. These things are much natural because they have little minerals in them, not refined. And so such things should be taken. Packeted things, we would always say no. Any packet which you open and eat and bottle open and drink, as far as possible, avoid. Once in a while, anything is fine. Body can take the nonsense, but not in routine. So follow such healthy food, and that's what is called as a sattvic food. We should know that if after eating sattvic food also, if mind is rajasic, in sense very angry, or dull, tamasic, depressive, then that food body will not be able to digest. Let it be any food. So ultimately in our life, when we are talking about food, we have to talk about mind. We have to see that human mind needs training and it should be trained well. How to think, we should know. We should not just go and commit suicide as that actor did, which is absolutely wrong, ridiculous. Problems come to go, things come and go, chaos comes and goes, everything comes and go. Why do we hold on to situations? Why can't we learn that if success is there, failure is also there? If somebody loves you, somebody can hate you also. You should be able to take all these things in a balanced way. And when you are at a success rate, you should know what you were on the first day, how you were a struggler. That struggling day, never forget, and remain humble, remain caring, remain considerate. So bring these areas in our life. Have a very holistic life where you are not the only person in the world. You are part of the world. Rest world is there, and you are family to everybody. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. You are a family. Whole world is your family. So you have a duty, no doubt, towards yourself, towards your family, towards your work, towards your patients, towards your everything, but you have a duty towards humanity. Everything in nature, you have a duty towards them. So try and do whatever you can do for them. At least don't hurt them, don't harm them, don't bring hatred with anything in life. Everything has its own place in the world. So try and live that life, and that would be beautiful. So wish you all the best. Namaste.
Thank you very much, Ansama. Excellent presentation on diet. Now, Anand, can I request you to play the presentation on brief, short presentation on asanas and pranayam?
Yeah.
Wishing you all a very happy.
1 second, 1 second.
Yeah.
Anand is playing the presentation. Yes.
Wishing
Super.
you all a very happy International Day of Yoga. Now, I will be demonstrating a few asanas and pranayams. So let's begin with the conditioning. So this posture is Sukhasana. We sit in Sukhasana and gently close your eyes. Focus on your breath. Gently open your eyes and we begin with Parvatasana. Hands beside the body. With an inhalation, take both the hands up, join the palms, eyes focus at a point, stay there in normal breathing. Turn the palms, come down, exhale. One more time, breathe in, stretch up, turn the palm, come down, exhale. Parvatasana gives a very good stretch to the upper body. Now, we move on to the next asana, Yog Mudra. Yog Mudra is a symbol of yoga. For this, take both the hands behind. The left hand holds the right wrist. With an inhalation, stretch both the hands down. Turn exhaling to the right side and bend down. Inhale, come up. Exhaling, twist left. Bend down. Over here in the final posture, relax your elbows and shoulders. Breathe in, come up. Exhaling, bend down to the center. Stay there in normal breathing, relaxing your arms. Inhale, come up. Over here, people with high BP will keep their chin parallel to the ground while doing the asana. People with high BP will do it in a very relaxed way. Those having cardiac issues will not do the asana. And this asana is very beneficial for everyone and it gives a good abdominal compression. We now move on to the next posture, which is Vakrasana. Get both the legs straight. Hands on the mat. With an inhalation, raise both the hands to the shoulder level. Exhaling, twist right. Inhale, center. Exhaling, twist left. Inhale, center, relax. One more time. Inhale, exhale, twist right. Keep the back straight. Inhale, center. Exhaling, twist left. Inhale, center, and relax. Vakrasana gives a very good gentle twist to the back muscles and the abdominal muscles. And thereby, the lower back becomes nice and free. Okay. Now, we go to the next posture, Vajrasana. Taking both the heels behind and sit on your knees and on your heels. Now, keep the palms on your thighs. Vajrasana is the only yoga posture which we can do after eating a meal. This posture is very good for digestion. Now, we move on to the next posture, which is Ushtrasana. Come on your knees and on your toes. Okay? Keep both the palms on your waist. Inhaling, bend behind. Stay there in normal breathing. Come up with an exhalation. Those who are comfortable in this posture can go to the final posture. That is, you can keep both the hands on your head and inhaling, drop your head. Over here, push your hip forward and the pelvic region forward. Stay there in normal breathing. Exhaling, now back and relax. Now, this is Vajrasana. So the Ustrasana or the camel posture is very good. It gives a very good stretch on your thighs, on your back and on the abdominal muscles. Who will not do this? People with any abdominal ulcers, abdominal injury surgery or a slip disc problem will not do this. Now, we move on to the pranayams. So, sit in Sukhasana, back straight, chin parallel to the ground. Pranayam, prana is our life force. Ayam is the regulation of this life force. So, for the pranayam, we should know that we have got three breathing muscles: the diaphragm, the intercostal, and the clavicular. And when we inhale, our stomach comes out. When we exhale, our stomach goes in. So we begin with pranayam, equal breathing. As the name suggests, we have to take equal amount of inhalations and the exhalations will also be the same. So let's begin with count. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3. And relax. For any pranayam, see to it that the back is straight. So your inhalation and exhalation will be to the maximum. The benefits of equal breathing are: the total supply of oxygen to the entire body increases. It brings about peace and harmony. We move on to the next pranayam, that is intercostal breathing. Keep your hands on your chest, that is on the lower two ribs. With an inhalation, expand chest, and with an exhalation, the chest compresses. So let's begin. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. With this pranayama, intercostal breathing, the lung capacity improves substantially. Now, we move on to the next pranayama, which is abdominal breathing. Keep your right hand on the needle and breathe in, 1, 2, 3. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3. Relax. This pranayam is very relaxing and it brings about overall health benefits. The immunity improves and the digestion also improves with this pranayam. Now, we move on to the next pranayam, which is alternate nostril breathing. Make a fist of your hand. Open your right thumb and the last two fingers. Now, place the ring finger on the left nostril. Inhale with the right, exhale with the left. Then again, inhale with the left, exhaling from the right. Whenever you are inhaling or exhaling from one nostril, gently the other nostril has to be closed. So let's begin. Right inhale, left exhale, left inhale, right exhale. This pranayama balances the energies in our body and supplies good oxygen to all the tissues of the body. So, with this, I end my pranayam session and I would request everyone to pranayam and asanas only on an empty stomach. Or if you've had a meal, 2 hours post the meal. We end the session with chanting of 1 round of Om. Take a deep breath. Breathe in. Namaste. Have a nice day.
Wonderful presentation, Manju ji. In chartered accountant say time nahi hai, how much time we need. They expect lots of time is to be put. So especially since we talked a few days ago, we prepared a specialized presentation, meet the requirements as BCA suggested. In just 10 minutes, we had a presentation on asanas, on pranayam also, we had a mantra also, we had a meditation also, and also the benefits of health in case of diseases, and also what practices one should not do. Manju, it is really, really superb. You have done it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And this met the requirements of Mukesh ji, particularly that a whole body should come in that. So a lot of hard work has gone there in 10 minutes to have a presentation. And I would admit, acknowledge the whole family has helped with high quality professional equipment. So wonderful. Now, Manju ji.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Made a presentation of basic asanas, pranayams, particularly for the busy chartered accountant. Now we come to healthcare issues. Can you just in 1 minute suggest some practice for people having diabetes or for family members where some of the family members are diabetes, so the other family members also should, they are more.
Move this. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Namaste.
This is a live session, so just we'll try our best so that the thing comes. Yeah, it's wonderful. Good.
Yeah, yes, sir. So wishing everyone a happy International Day of Yoga. Now I will be demonstrating 2 asanas for diabetes. Okay. So first one being Paschimottanasana. Keep both the legs straight. Okay. Keep the hands beside the body. So breathe in, slightly bend behind. Your toes stretch forward. Breathe out, bend front. And over here in this posture, stay in normal breathing. Don't try to bend down too much. Just relax, breathe normally. Don't take the power up. Laptop. Oh, lap. Yeah. Yes. Okay. And we come back. So this was one practice. And this is very good for diabetes because it gives a good compression to the abdomen. Now, we move on to the next practice, which is Ardha Matsyendra Asana. First, I will show the proper asana, and then I will make it simplified for anyone to practice. So now the first is like anyone who doesn't have any knee issues or any other back issues can do this. Hold your right leg, jump it over the left knee, okay, and fold the left knee from down. Now, hold the right leg with the left hand. With an exhalation, twist behind so that you're pressing your thigh to the abdomen. So this is again for a good abdominal compression. Twist behind. Your knee, your shoulders and your knee has to be in one line. Inhaling, come back to the center. This again is a little modified. The actual posture is like this. So if someone cannot hold this, just hold this, give it a good compression, twist, come back. Then you can perform this with the other side also. Now, hold the left leg, jump it over the right knee, fold the right leg down. Now, because the left leg is standing, you have to hold it with the opposite hand and twist behind. Inhale, come back to the center. Okay, if someone has got some knee pain and cannot perform the Ardha Matsyendra Asana. So simple. Fold the leg, jump it over. So I folded my right leg, jump it over the left knee, hold it, and just twist. Do not fold the legs. So that's it. It's as simple as this. You give pressure, and it is a very good abdominal compression, which will help all the diabetic people. Thank you, sir.
Super, Manju. While we are at it, we have a lot of queries which we received from chartered accountants and the committee members. What about hypertension and cardiac? I would say hypertension and also cardiac, because if you don't take care when hypertension is there, so possibility, some people feel there is a possibility. Just one or two simple practices for hypertension.
Yeah. So for hypertension, relaxation is the best way for hypertension. In yoga, we have this practice called Makarasana, wherein we lie down on our stomach and relax. So one thing I would like to tell, anytime you lie down, always turn to the side and then lie down. So the spine remains our best friend throughout our lifetime. So now I come on my stomach and I keep my palm on my palm. I keep my cheek on my palm, my toes together, heels apart, and just relax. Okay, so in this posture, we can remain for around 2 minutes and it will really do wonders. The next posture being, you can lie down on your back in the corpse pose, that is Shavasana. Here again, lie down and distance between your feet, 2 feet, palms facing the ceiling, completely relax yourself. Shavasana, conscious relaxation, wherein you relax each and every part of the body, toes, ankles, proceeding the whole body, you come up to your head until you're completely relaxed. Now, this you should do for at least 4 to 5 minutes. I'm just showing you one pranayam, which can be done for hypertension. Fold both the legs, your knees together, feet apart. Right hand on the navel, left palm facing the ceiling. Breathe in, stomach comes up. Breathe out, your stomach goes in. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. We should do, so now I turn to the side and I get up. This pranayam, we should practice at least 4 to 5 rounds and you're completely relaxed. Now, one more very important practice is active recreation, which is Vihar. It is one of the very strong pillars of yoga. In active recreation, it is like we should involve ourselves, give ourselves some time by doing some activities like singing, dancing, hobby like painting, playing some musical instrument. Here, I will request everyone to participate with me to experience something which I'm going to be telling. So, like, we have to do some active singing. So, I'll request everyone to join me. It's okay if you don't unmute yourself over there only. So, let's begin together. Uthe sabke kadam, dekho ram pam pam, aji aise geet gaya karo. Kabhi khushi kabhi gam, tararam pam pam, has aur hasaya karo. La 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 la. So now what I'm trying to say, please can anyone tell me how did you feel? Any one person unmute and tell me, so that it is a little active interaction. Can anyone unmute and tell me how did you feel? What is your experience?
Would anybody volunteer? Mukesh bhai, I saw you enjoying the song Active Recreation.
Yeah, music is definitely my passion and I really enjoy. Number one, it is definitely relaxing when one is with the music and one is doing it for the purpose of the joy.
So what I'm trying to tell, sir, is at that point you felt that happiness. So once you feel that happiness, your mind actually becomes relaxed. So whatever worry we have got at that point, which creates tension, so that gets converted to positivity. So people with high BP, cardiac issues definitely need some active recreation and relaxation also.
Wonderful. Thank you, Manju. And now Nita is here. We had the practices, asanas, pranayams, and today is Sunday. Manju doing on a mat. Nita, Monday to Saturday, you are in office or you are doing office work at home. You are sitting on a chair, not on a mat. Full day, 10 to 6, 9 to 6, 9 to 7.
Right.
Can you practice yoga sitting on a chair, executive chair, boss's chair? Can your colleagues do it? So just briefly on sitting on a chair, if you can share some key practices.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Manoj. Definitely, there are some asanas which have been prescribed by our Yoga Institute also. We can just be at our work table and also take the benefit of stretching as well as doing some asanas sitting on the chair. First of all, due to the challenging times which we are going through and the screen time which we are also having, the screen time has been very high during the past 2 months, due to which our neck, our eyes, our abdominal area, our legs, knees, all have gone for a toss and they have been abused. So to take care of all these parts as well as the full body and the lung capacity and the immunity boosters, we have to start doing these practices, small practices, which do not take much time also. And obviously they will give you a break. After every hour, it has been advised to take a 2 minutes break from the screen. So, but these exercises are also not time consuming. We can start, as already Manju ma'am has already explained about the Parvatasana, sitting down. You're on the chair itself. We don't have to sit down. We don't have you have to be sitting on the chair and your hands are at the sides. And you just lift your hands and join them in the Namaste position. And relax your neck and relax everything. The spine should be straight. You should feel the stretch from the lower back up to the tip of the fingers. And your elbows always should be kept straight. Don't try to bend them. So this can be practiced sitting at the computer table or on your chair. And slowly you can come down. See, this practice can be done twice, thrice. That is 2 rounds, 3 rounds, which can give you a very good benefit. The second asana, which we can always do is, you can do some eye exercises also just by cupping your hands. You can cup your hands on your eyes so that you have a soothing effect. Just cup your hands also on your eyes will give you a very soothing effect. That every hour, if you take a 2-minute break and just cup your eyes, because the eyes are taking the maximum energy from our body. So if you give them a rest for 2 minutes, you will be saving that much of energy. Now we can move on to the next asana. We can do a asana which is known as Konasana 2. In Konasana 2, we just take the right hand from the side and then you just hold your chair on the other side and bend on the left side. So here you are getting a nice lateral stretch, which also helps you to increase your lung capacity. Slowly you're coming back and down. And then you lift your left hand up from the sides and hold the chair on the right side, and then you can bend on the right. Slowly you can come up and relax. So these 2 asanas are definitely you are going to do them. Then we can always practice Vakrasana, which Manju ma'am has already shown you while sitting. So this also can be practiced. You can just take your hands in front of you and move to the left and be there up to your capability. Again, you come back to the center and move them to the right. And be there and try to look at your fingertips. Slowly, you can come back and relax. Now, what these asanas do to us when we are sitting, that is important to be known. Parvatasana, as I already explained, it gives you a good stretch to the spine. It massages the lower back also. It gives you a very good support because we are using the chair continuously. So it gives a very good support when you stretch from the back to the tip. Konasana gives you a lateral stretch, which increases the lung capacity, due to which you breathe properly and the oxygen level in the body goes up. And the oxygenated blood in the body is a great help during these times. The third asana was the Vakrasana. Vakrasana works on your abdominal area, the waistline and the abdominal area. So already our waistlines are going for a toss. So it is very good asana. When you twist your waist with the abdomen, all the digestive problems are taken care of, as well as it will help you to reduce your waistline sitting. So this all asanas can be easily done sitting on the chair. And pranayams, as already Manju ma'am has explained to us, the pranayams, you are sitting at the table, you can just do an equal breathing. That's all. You inhale for 3 counts and exhale for 3 counts. You can do 3 rounds, inhale for 3 counts and exhale for 3 counts. This pranayam can be done sitting at your table. The relaxation posture which Manju ma'am showed was you have to lie down, but we have at the Yoga Institute another relaxation technique which has been given to us, that is the Nishpan Bhav. The Nishpan Bhav can be easily practiced sitting on the chair. It can be practiced while traveling anywhere. You don't have to have a special time. You don't have to have a special place, a special mat for it. You just can practice this relaxation technique while you are in the car or you are at the office table. If you just want to take that 2-minute break, you can practice Nishpan Bhav. How the Nishpan Bhav is done? When you are sitting at the chair, you just have to put your legs a little apart, place your palms on the thighs and they are facing the ceiling. And then you have to just put your head at the headrest of your chair and slowly close your eyes. After closing your eyes, you just have to concentrate on the sounds around you, which will be just a focus. This is the way you should do it.
Hello.
Slowly, you can come back and relax yourself. So Nishpan Bhav is a technique which has been developed by our founder, Yogendra ji. And it is a very good technique which can be done anywhere. You don't have to think much about it. I'm traveling in the car.
Thank you very much. A wonderful practical aspects work.
Yeah, namaste.
Hansa has joined us. I welcome Hansa ji. Hansa ma.
So click photo. Mute kar do. Mute kar. Mute.
Hansa ma.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste, all of you.
Yes.
Nice to see you all. Yeah.
We had a wonderful session till you joined. We had a presentation on diet, specially prepared by you for this group. We had a demonstration of asanas and pranayams.
Yes.
On a mat, which is done on a Sunday. We also had demonstration of what people do from Monday to Saturday, working in office from an executive chair. Now they are doing work from home.
Very good.
And now there you are. Ansama, Mukesh Bhai is with us. He has been coming to morning class. He's a convener for the HRD committee of Bombay Chartered Accountants Society.
Yeah.
Pranam Hansaben.
Yeah, Pranam.
I'm regularly attending since 1979, and last 2 years I am very much regular. But for last 3 months the lockdown has been
Yes.
So,
Yes.
But home practice is happening. And one more wonderful thing I can just recall for your recollection is that if you could recollect, we had brought the Gita Vahini at your campus.
Okay.
Yeah, so you and I had interacted a lot in the that particular Gita Vahini.
Yeah.
So we are having a wonderful time with Manojji, Manjuji, as well as Neetaji, and we are now looking forward to hear from you your blessings, because I could read that you had phenomenal tight schedule with lot of media and so many things today. Despite of that, you could spare your time. We are extremely grateful, and we are looking forward to your blessings. Thank you so much.
Well, well, this is quite a difficult time going on around, and everybody is supposed to take charge of himself. We may be highly educated, but we have to see that education will not work. It takes your tool, your health goes down. If immunity goes down, everything goes down. Right now, how you are managing your life, taking charge of yourself matters. Nothing else matters right now. Whole world is going through that chaos and problem. So what we are supposed to do is to see that we have our routines proper, to see that we are eating on time regularly, to see that we are sleeping very well, because good sleep really brings hormones back to, it's normal, and it would see that unwanted things are thrown out and your body is recouped very fast in a good sleep. You should be doing physically some activity whenever you find your mind is little disturbed because you heard somebody died or somebody did this, committed suicide and all that. Mind for some time is going to get disturbed, but you have to bring your mind back to balanced state, because all these things are going to be there. The world is full of ups and downs, but they are not permanent. They are temporary, impermanent. Don't get affected by impermanent things. Things will change. You will again move ahead in life. So try and see that you are not allowing your mind to get disturbed. Mastery over mind is possible when you are doing some breath control. When you find your mind disturbed, watch your breath and see that you breathe in slowly, breathe out slowly, and see that mind is under your control. Keep yourself little busy. Be with your family, which you never had been earlier. Never ever some picnic you go together or some few outings you do together. But this time it's very different thing. In the house, can't go out. Everybody's under stress in your family, not just you. Keeping that in mind, bring positivity in the mind, in the house. Try and see that you are seeing good in every member in the house and not seeing faults in the family members. So try and turn your thinking opposite. Finding out fault, removing faults, trying to improve that person's capacity because he has certain follies. This is how we go about in life. Now it's other way around. Now finding out good, helping him to become more good, and faults will disappear. So every family member should be helped by seeing good about themselves, seeing good in a situation. This whole corona situation, there is so much good also occurring. You see that, how much good is occurring. Seeing that and feeling positive about it. And the problem comes to go. As breath comes and goes, thoughts come and go, situations come to go. Don't hold on in your mind. Don't go in past nor in future. Doesn't work. Future, nobody knows. Why bother about it? Learn to live now. So do your duties right now well. So food, rest, recreation, bring joy, make laughter, and so on. One of our students was in the hospital because not the student, but student's father in the hospital. And he was suffering from corona infection. And his condition was deteriorating. So the family member phoned me that Hansaji, anything could be done because doctors say the condition, he'll be on ventilator and then they can't say anything. So tell him to do certain things. And that is, he should be Whenever he is lying down, you should do what is called as pranayam number 4. Inhale, stomach moves up, exhale, stomach goes down. Whenever he is sitting, do this alternate breathing, because you have to increase in oxygen. That is one area. They will also give you oxygen, but what is required is your mind has to be focused. If mind is free, then free mind is devil's workshop. And so keep your mind with your breath. Breath and mind, they go together. So this is second thing which he should do when he is sitting. And third, he should think of all those doctors and all those police who are really doing their job so well. They are like a warriors who are really keeping their life on stake to help you. So whenever any doctor comes near you or police comes near you, you should always crack some joke. You must have some nice joke to talk about or some nice shairi to make or some nice saying. So start remembering these things. Don't keep your mind free. Remember these things and say something like that and laugh and make them laugh. Your duty towards others, duty towards society, whatever you think goes into the world. If you are thinking negative, you are throwing negativity, more negativity will come to you only. Nothing else. What you give, you get. Keeping all that in mind, you are supposed to help those people who are in trouble. So try and do all these things. And within 2 days, after 2 days, doctor said, what are you doing? He says, well, some pranayama and all. She says, whatever you are doing, you just do, carry on, because your health has started improving. And that person improved in 8 days. And then he was discharged after 10 days. So somewhere now he is absolutely fit and fine and no problem at all. So we can take charge of ourselves and not think about unnecessary thing, but bring joyful, see good in every situation, see good in people, and bring positivity in us. So that's what I was trying to tell you. All the yoga techniques and all that, you are in any case learning from them. And so carry on whenever possible. You can do asanas anytime. Before food, you can do asana. 2 hours after food, you can do asana. So whole day is there. Little you should do, or spend some more time if you have more time. But take care of yourself first, your family, and the world by giving some positivity in the world. So that was my message, and try and see that you help yourself and the world. Anything else you want to say?
Thank you, Hansamba. Wonderful insights, very practical insights for the busy chartered accountant and their family members. And I hope they'll be practicing it. In fact, the BCS had a large group also for a full day workshop at the Institute, Yoga Institute, quite a few years back. And they are keen on doing a residential conference for two nights, 3 days. That's what they suggest.
Well, we can always have much more all these things. But right now I take your leave. Take care of yourself, charged, and get up every day with full zest and enthusiasm and positivity and vigor, because that's what is required now to enjoy every moment. So all the best to all of you. Namaste.
Thank you, Hansaben, for your time and for your blessings. And we will be looking forward to organizing some nice workshop together in a collaboration. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Pranam, pranam, pranam.
Pranam.
Thank you very much, Mukesh bhai. I come to Nita. We talked about, Manjuji talked about Vihar. Vihar is one of the pillars of yoga. There are 4 pillars of yoga. Briefly, let us talk about the 4 pillars. Your thoughts, Achar Vichar, RVR, Achar Vichar. Nita? Nita ji?
Yes, sorry. I just, yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah. Today we can talk about the 4 pillars. The 4 pillars are AV. They are known as AV. That is Ahar, Vihar, Achar, and Vichar. What is Ahar? That has already been done. That's the diet, nutrition, food. The food is very, very important. That is the right type of food, the timing of the food, the quantity of the food, and how we are going to eat that food. These are the 4 things which have to be kept in mind while we take our food. Why? The right quantity, we have to listen to our body, and the right type of food, always sattvic. Then at the right time, there should be a body clock, which we already have. The body itself says, yes, I'm hungry, please feed me. And how we have to take our food, not in front of the TV, not talking. So when we are having our food, we should take care of all these points. We have to chew our food properly, be aware always how it is going inside. So that is how the food and the diet things should be taken care of. Now we come to Vihar. As Manjuji was saying, Vihar is a recreation, but recreation doesn't mean watching TV serials. Recreation is much more than that. And it is not watching TV. You have to either play an instrument of your choice, either you have to do some gardening, or you have to go for a walk, enjoy the greenery just by sitting there. If you cannot enjoy your own company, who else is going to enjoy them with you? Just remember this. If you cannot be with your own self and enjoy your own company, nobody is going to be in your company. So the first thing is we have to enjoy the nature. That is Vihar. Or if you're interested in drawing, please draw. Make some pictures you can draw, something. If you just want to scribble also, you can have a scribble board at your home and just start scribbling. Put something, whatever is in your mind. You can do that. Then we come to the achar. What are achar? Is daily routines. We have to follow our daily routines. We have to get up at the same time, follow the routine, do our exercises, eat at the right time, work at the right time, come back from work at the right time, and have the dinner at the right time. And sleeping as Hansaji always says, you have to sleep by 10:30. But Bombay, nobody. They come home, they always, Hansaji has to answer. Okay, y'all are Bombay people traveling, they all come at 11 o'clock. But now what is the situation? We are at home. So we can always put in more efficiency, be more efficient, and plan now after the lockdown also how we are going to work in a more efficient manner and not be late, 9, 10. Just, of course, we have our deadlines. I can understand that. All the professionals. There are health professionals who are constantly under stress. We professionals are constantly under anxiety, stress for the deadlines of our clients. Everything is there. But still, if we use some of these practices in our daily life, we will be able to go above it. And then the last is vichar. What are the thoughts we are having? We should remove all the negativity. Just Hansaji mentioned, we cannot throw negativity, and that negativity comes as a negative vibration to us, due to which we lose our immunity, we lose our interest, there is no motivation, there is no enthusiasm. We have to be away from all these things now. We just have to be positive. So the thought process, thoughts, we have to just be removed. And if you feel there are a lot of thoughts, there's a lot of anxiety, just be there in a meditative posture and concentrate on your breath for 2 minutes. Immediately, you will be out of it. So these are the 4 pillars of yoga, which we should always keep in mind. Any questions? Yeah, any questions?
Thank you very much, Anita.
Yeah, thank you.
Manjuji, are you in?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Can you hear me? Now you had suggested you can do a few standing asanas.
Yes, sir.
You are ready for that?
Yes, sir.
Can we have a Kalasana 3 and Talasana 3?
Yes, sir.
Just your
keep it up.
Camera.
Yeah. थोड़ा पीछे लो some more, little more. Yeah. So we will begin with Talasana 3. Take a distance of 1 foot in your legs, okay, in your feet. And over here, the heels and the hands come up together simultaneously with an inhalation. So breathe in, come up from the side in a namaste. Back straight, chin parallel to the ground, focus at a point. Turn the palm, come down, exhale. One more time. Breathe in, come up from the side, stretch up, eyes focus at the point. Turn, come down, exhale. So this was Talasana 2. This is a very good asana for immunity booster because all our 3 breathing muscles are used. Then it gives good neuromuscular coordination and it gives a very good stretch to the entire body from the tip of your toes to the tip of your fingers. It's a very good asana for increasing height in children and for correcting postural defects in adults. Now, we move on to the next practice, which is Konasana 3. Take a distance of 2.5 feet or maybe even 3 feet in your legs. Now, get both the hands in front. So, breathe in, hands go to the side. Take the thing back, yeah. Now, look at the right hand, middle finger. Exhaling, come down. Touch your left foot. Look up at the left hand. Look down with an inhalation. Keep looking at your hand. Come back. Look at the left hand. Exhaling, come front. Bend down. Touch your right foot. Look up. Look down with an inhalation. Come back. Okay. This asana has a very good message. So the main thing in this asana is that our eyes, that our gaze has to be fixed on our hand throughout. So the best way to remember this, keep your hands in front. Inhale, come to the side. Look at the right hand, middle finger. Where goes my hand? Goes my eyes. Where goes my hand? Where goes my eyes? Goes my mind. Where goes my mind? Goes my heart. Come back, inhalation, come up. Look at the left hand, exhaling, twist, bend down, look up, look down, inhale, come up. Okay, relax. So now, what we get the message, where goes my hand, goes my eyes. Where goes my eye, goes my mind. Where goes my mind, goes my heart. Do anything with full involvement. A thing which is worth doing is worth doing well. So, this asana is a very good asana in the way it gives a complete body stretch. It's an entire body stretch. And it is the best asana for obesity. Okay, thank you, sir.
Wonderful. Thank you, Manjuji. Nita ji, I would like you to share your experience.
So, you can bring it front. Bring it front.
Yes.
You can speak about the health conditions also.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah,
case
sure.
And how yoga has helped you.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, when you start your career and you start moving on, because that time you're very enthusiastic and also you want to do a lot of things, so you don't take care of your health. It goes on. You start thinking, oh, I am in control of my body. I can do anything. My body can take anything. But then continuously being at the computer, when the computers had just come in and you are continuously using a lot of the computers and all, my neck started giving me a lot of problems because it was facing the abuse which I was giving it actually. And I had such bad, it was so bad, I couldn't sleep on the bed. I used to have this vertigo issues started because of my neck issues. And like I had to take medicine. And then my father-in-law is a doctor, so he told me, you want to go for traction, everything he started. So I got like, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to orthopedic also. So then I just thought, just a flash came in my mind, you know, okay, no, I should start this practices now, yoga practice. So that was, I will tell you, it was around 17 years back. This problem had started with me. And I started going to my classes very close where I used to stay. And regularly, I used to just leave office 3 days, whatever happens, whatever my clients say, I'm not going to do it, but I have to do this. That was my, this. I have to do it. I was so stubborn on doing it. So that is how I entered into the yoga. That was my serious condition, and I didn't want it to go worse. I didn't want to go under that traction things and all. I'm very particular. I'm the last person to take medicines. So I started with yoga. Of course, that time I was totally a physical experience. Frankly, I didn't know yoga was so much after I came to the institute. And I used to do regularly. I used to do all the asanas. My neck exercises have become my food. As we take food every day, I do my neck exercises as my food. And from that day until today, I have been so comfortable, and I use my computers the way, the number of hours I want to. But I see to it, I don't miss my neck exercises and my hand and shoulder exercises. And after coming to the Yoga Institute in 2012, and of course, the stress was also taking a toll. When a stress increases, the problem which you have, it also goes up. That I have observed. That is the experience. The body says, no, you please stop. It really, I could speak to my body after entering into this. After 2012, I'm telling you, and another problem which I really was able to solve today, my father-in-law also agrees, though he's an allopathic doctor. I had a severe throat congestion problems. Like always, like something will happen, I'll have a throat infection. For little things, small things, I used to have this throat infections. And after going to the institute, doing Jal Niti, actually, I would like to share there is a small YouTube video by Hansa ji on Jal Niti. I would request all the participants, everyone who is here, to please watch that video. It is an excellent video, and it is explained very well for a common person. You will not have to worry about it. So after doing Jal Niti, and after doing the pranayams, after doing some Ujjayi pranayam, everything, my throat problem has totally been solved. From 2012 to 2020, I have not taken any antibiotics. I am not taking any medicine for the throat problems. And I'm not facing the problem. So these are my beautiful experiences, which I would like everyone to just think over it and have faith in it. The most important thing which I would like to share is have faith in yourself and in what you're doing. That's all.
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful experiences. I see lots of message from chartered accountants. Chartered accountant Mr. Rajendra Somani, he has noted, 4 pillars: ahar,
Okay.
achar, vichar. So I'm glad most of the issues related to healthcare have been very well captured in the kind of practices we have demonstrated. It's wonderful to have in such a short period a capsule of how yoga can benefit by way of all the components of where we can take it forward, and yoga as a way of life. Live life simply, like what Yoga Sutra says in one line. What is asana? Any comfortable pose is asana. Any comfortable pose. There are people who say just practice one asana in a right way. Every day at the same time for a year, you will get fabulous benefits. That's it. And I see both Manjuji, Nitaji, they have lots of accomplishments besides the biodata. You introduced Manju Ajiz. She has done a course diploma from the university, and she's a senior yoga teacher going every day. And there are special women groups, women's classes, specially taking. And Nita, besides doing the role of a chartered accountant, serving the community in taxation, audit, accounts, is going every day. There is a certificate course on better living, 21 days course, 1 hour a day for 21 days continuously. She has been an excellent contributor to the 21-day Better Living course. It is wonderful. If anybody wants to have a word from the participants or from the HRD committee or the conveners, that will be wonderful. I would like, if any participant is there, please feel free. Please feel free. Manjeet Singh has also mentioned a very good session. So in a limited way, all of you are most welcome to come to Yoga Institute post lockdown. And as of now, Yoga Institute, there is a huge demand for online classes. Online classes, which Prime Minister and Ministry of Ayush has specially requested us to do, is to keep the job going every day, right from morning to evening. Manjuji is a teacher and observer in the online training class also. Yeah, Manjuji, yes.
So I wanted to just add this sankalp, if all of us will do it, will help us a lot. हमें अपने मन को हमेशा संतुलित रखना है, इसी में ही हमारा आत्मविकास समाया है. So we have to always keep ourselves contented. In this, a self-development is there. And one small line of a song, as Hansa ji said, हंसो और हंसाओ, हंसते हंसते कट जाए रस्ते, जिंदगी यूं ही चलती रहे, खुशी मिले या गम बदलेंगे ना हम, दुनिया चाहे बदलती रहे.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Special thanks to all the participants. Can I now request the conveners to take charge?
Thank you, Manoj Bhai. I would like all the participants to just bear with us for another few minutes. I'm interested with the responsibility of vote of thanks. I would like to start with thank Mr. Manish Sampath, President of BCS, to spare time in spite of his busy schedule today. I would like to thank our chairman Rajesh Muni, sir, my co-conveners Mukesh Bhai, Meena Ben and Sneh for supporting for this particular event. I'd like to thank the Yoga Institute for bringing up such a wonderful program, and I've been seeing them. They have been working tirelessly to customize various asanas and the session for us. It was a beautiful video which has been presented by Manjuji and the team. Like they have specially demonstrated this video for our BCS, wherein they have worked overnight with all the special equipments so that we have proper audio clarity, the video clarity. We could see a lot of efforts which has gone into presenting this video. I would like to thank Manoj Bhai for starting with a brief introduction, giving us the benefit of the yoga, the way of life, and how yoga helps in excellence in work and selfless services. Hansaji's video on the Sattvic food was equally very informative, and the way she has explained about replacing sugar and salt with jaggery or the rock salt, which would definitely give health benefits to all of us. Thank Manjuji for demonstrating various yoga asanas, Vakrasan, Vajrasan, various formations of pranayam. It was really helpful. She even demonstrated live sessions, some certain asanas for diabetes and hypertension, which definitely would really help many of us. Neetaji for wonderful relaxation asanas for eyes, stretchings, about her thoughts on Achar and Vichar, and definitely the experience what you have shared, we are going to really benefit all of us. And Manoj Bhai, you had been wonderful moderator, and you have covered mostly all the topics. And I would thank you so much for bringing Hansaji also live in spite of a busy schedule. Though you were very skeptical and not very sure, but you have done it. And thank you so much. It was really a pleasure of having you all. And I would like to thank you all the participants and the BCS staff who had been very supportive to have this program organized. Thank you so much, everybody. I would like to thank you so much.
Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you, Anand, for proposing the vote of thanks. Our special warm regards to Hansaben and the entire team at the Yoga Institute who could make it this particular program so beautiful. And not only that, you three, of which two are the chartered accountants and another graceful lady who has conducted this entire program so beautifully. Our warm regards to each one of you. We'll be catching up at the Institute by itself, and we'll be looking forward to many more programs like this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.
And we have to specially thank Anand for conducting entire program.
Technical. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Anand, so much for everything. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.